Hollow Creek. A village forgotten by time, shrouded in mist and secrets. Dilapidated houses lined the single road, their windows like vacant eyes. Autumn had painted the trees in hues of orange and red, their leaves rustling like whispers in the wind. The air hung heavy with the scent of damp earth and wood smoke. A palpable silence permeated the village, broken only by the distant caw of a crow.
Clara, a young woman with eyes as bright as the autumn leaves, arrived at the edge of Hollow Creek. Drawn by an inexplicable pull, she had stumbled upon the village on her travels. The villagers, their faces etched with a lifetime of hard labor, regarded her with a mixture of curiosity and suspicion. They spoke little, their words clipped and guarded. Clara, undeterred, felt a strange sense of belonging in this forgotten place.
As the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting long shadows across the villagers began to gather in the village square. A bonfire crackled in the center, its flames licking at the twilight sky. The aroma of roasting meat and sweet cider filled the air, a stark contrast to the somber atmosphere of the village. Children with wide, watchful eyes darted between the adults, their laughter echoing eerily in the gathering darkness.
Clara, her curiosity piqued, approached a group of women weaving intricate patterns with corn husks. "What are you making?" Clara asked, her voice a touch too loud in the hushed atmosphere.
The women startled, their eyes darting towards her like wary animals. One woman, her face weathered and lined, cleared her throat.
"Offerings," she mumbled, her voice barely a whisper. "For the harvest festival."
Clara's eyebrows rose. "Harvest festival?" she echoed, intrigued.
The woman nodded, her eyes flickering towards the bonfire, where the flames were now reaching towards the darkening sky. "Tonight," she murmured, her voice laced with an unspoken warning. "The Harbinger comes tonight."
As night draped its dark cloak over Hollow Creek, the villagers formed a circle around the bonfire. Their faces, illuminated by the flickering flames, held a mixture of fear and reverence. The children stood silently beside their parents, their eyes wide and unblinking.
Clara, caught up in the strange ritual, felt a shiver run down her spine. The villagers began to chant, their voices low and guttural, the words ancient and unknown. The ground vibrated beneath Clara's feet, the rhythm of the chant syncing with the beating of her heart. The flames of the bonfire danced wildly, casting grotesque shadows that writhed and twisted in the darkness.
The air grew thick with anticipation, a palpable tension gripping the villagers. The chanting reached a fever pitch, the words echoing through the night. Clara's breath caught in her throat, a sense of foreboding washing over her. The ground shook violently, and a collective gasp escaped the villagers. From the heart of the bonfire, a figure began to rise. The figure, tall and skeletal, emerged from the flames as if born from fire itself. Antlers, gnarled and twisted, crowned its head, reaching towards the sky like grasping claws. Its eyes glowed with an eerie, otherworldly light, piercing the darkness with an unnerving intensity.
The chanting ceased abruptly, an eerie silence descending upon the villagers. The creature, the harbinger of the harvest, turned its gaze upon the assembled villagers, its eyes burning with an ancient hunger.
The villagers bowed their heads in unison, their fear palpable. The harbinger took a step forward, its skeletal feet scraping against the ground, the sound like fingernails on a chalkboard.
The harbinger raised its hand, its bony finger pointing directly at Clara.
A collective gasp rippled through the villagers, their eyes darting between Clara and the creature. Clara's heart pounded against her ribs, her breath catching in her throat. The villagers parted slightly, revealing Clara, illuminated by the firelight.
The offering, the time has come for the offering.
The harbinger spoke, its voice a dry rasp that echoed through the silence.
The villagers turned to face Clara, their eyes now gleaming with a chilling fanaticism. The woman Clara had spoken to earlier stepped forward, her face a mask of grim determination.
"The harvest demands a sacrifice, a life for a harvest."
The horrifying truth dawned on Clara. She had stumbled not upon a quaint village festival, but an ancient, terrifying ritual. The villagers, desperate for a bountiful harvest, had chosen her as their sacrifice to appease the harbinger.
Terror, cold and sharp, cut through Clara. She backed away, her eyes darting from one hostile face to another. They were closing in on her, their faces contorted with a mixture of fear and grim purpose. Clara felt a surge of defiance, a refusal to be their pawn in this macabre game. "No, I won't be your sacrifice."